All right, so we were just talking recently about it, large format tile with our team. We've got a project here and we wanted to just talk about some large format tile, how to install that, and just kind of give a tip on starting it off. I am a huge believer in levels, using lasers. Obviously, using large format tile, you've got to use 4 foot, 6 foot levels throughout the process. But I love using lasers as a starting point. So we're gonna give you just a quick heads up on how to do this. We've gone ahead and ripped down. I ripped down baseboards. They're some of the straightest pieces of wood that you can. So I like using old extra baseboard that we can rip off of. This is gonna be our very first piece. This extra laser line that we need down here, we really don't even need. So I'm gonna take that away. But this is our starting point. We're going to start this 10.5 inches off of our center line. So we're going to just double check that before we get started. All right, that puts us right where we want to be. So we're going to use our beginning ripped board as our first piece. We're going to put the second row of the tile up first. And we're just going to start with the big full cut, non-cut pieces. And this project's a little bit unique. We're going to have a piece of Jolly Schluter edge right along the inside edge here. And then we're going to have a leaf, glass leaf on the inside so that it's a mosaic feature all the way up. We'll come back and show you this when it's all finished. But let's get started. So what we're doing now is we're just adding that, kind of keeping everything clean as we go. And one of the things that we're doing right now is adding that Schluter piece in there. Now the reason we've got to go ahead and set the Schluter in right now is, again, this is just a Jolly Schluter edge to separate this tile and what we're going to be having with this glass mosaic. The reason we've got to set this into place right now is that this other tile, once it goes in, is not going to be easy to place in there. So we've got to get that in right now. That piece, by the way, goes from the floor to the ceiling all the way up and down. And it gives us a nice clean finish right up against that ceiling. So we're a big fan of that piece. Now, one of the other things that we did, you're going to see this X feature here in just a minute. We wanted the tile to all match up and to all look like it had the same pieces. So let's grab a few spacers here. right, just confirming, we've got on our tile, it's 39.5 by roughly 14.5 on these tiles. So we just want to confirm that we've got enough space up there for everything. I learned this trick from one of our lead installers. His name's Hector. Hector is amazing. He makes the stuff I look silly. But one of the things that he always taught us was run your finger in between. When you go to slide to set that piece in, it'll knock out any mortar that's in there. You'll be able to create much cleaner lines. Now, one of the things you'll also notice is we're using extremely thin spacers, 1/16 of an inch spacers, super small, super tight, easy to remove, of course, but more importantly, it's a tight look. It looks fantastic. Now, one of the things that I like to do on this tile, because it's so big, it tends to want to just kind of pull apart. So if it does it all, obviously the spacers don't look right. And again, all we're doing, we're not using the integrated system. We're just using a hand system. Just keeping it clean. It's large format tile. It's staying the same area off the, with our large format tile, just simply using our trowel, keeping the same distance, working a 1/2 inch trowel and keeping everything level on the right way. Pretty simple. Just kind of work it, make it simple from that standpoint. So we're literally just going to work on setting these first two, cleaning everything up, and then we'll come back and set more here in just a little bit. So we've got the first piece laid. Let's keep going. What you just saw me do there was to double check. From the factory on large format tiles, you are going to find a lot of little whirlybirds. These things are designed, they're just little stick-on glues. They're designed to keep the tile from rubbing against each other, to protect this beautiful shine. So as we're installing some of these, we went through, you can't really remove them until, especially if you stack them, you can't remove them until you're really almost ready to install them, or you keep them off of other pieces. So we're going to finish that. You definitely want to keep this out of your thin set, because Lord knows that it will gum it all up. Again, all we're doing, we're not really trying to get it to set into the thin set. We're just making, that's already done in that very first set. Make sure we gotta have good coverage. Again, taking your fingers down that side really eliminates the need to do a lot of cleanup when you're done. All right, that's piece number 4. Piece number 5, not but least, piece number 6. Now, one of the things about these pieces of porcelain tile, they're rectified edges, which means on the very edges, you have to be super careful not to chip these pieces. If you happen to chip an edge, I can promise you, you're going to be replacing these pieces. So what we did was on this one, we took the time to just kind of get everything to blend together and work into itself. So we're going to go ahead and pull down our edge. Do the Hector trick, of course, I'm sure he learned from somebody else. All right, and again, we're just going to take our trusty tape, wipe everything off, and just to keep everything together. All right, so we're all finished with this project. Got done finishing with the grout yesterday. So pretty excited with the way that this project turned out. We did 2 different types of Schluter edges. So as you're working with lasers, working with different levels, make sure that you keep your laser levels from floor to ceiling. We've got our Jolly Schluters over here, and we used on all of these areas, we used a Rondek Schluter. Everything on this, homeowner wanted chrome finishes for everything. So on the edges here, we've still got some finish work to do over here. We're just polishing it all up, but we've got chrome Rondek edges on all the sides. We've got our nice matching threshold here for the shower. And again, project turned out great. Pay attention to all those things and have fun. And if you can't or don't want to do your own project, give us a call. Let us see if we can help you with a true bathroom remodel.